Guys, I'm back again today with another reaction video, and today we're reacting to top 10 scary Malaysian urban legends. Let me know if these are true legends or urban legends that he's going to tell us. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I'm so freaking scared. You know me and scary stuff. I've reacted to some scary Malaysian trailers and I was like shizzing my pants. So how much... what am I doing with my life? Okay, so I'm scared. I'm not even excited. I'm scared. Before we do start, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Click that bell button to get notified whenever I do upload a video. Anyways, guys, let's check this out. Maybe 100% of the time I'm gonna be like this. So this is not a reaction. Oh no. Oh freaking no.
Welcome back everyone. I'm sure I don't need to explain this series to you guys anymore, but I'll do it for all the newcomers. This is where I take a look at some of the creepy tales, both old and new, from countries all around the world. We've done quite a few now.
This is going to be an interesting reaction, but...
from you. This is actually one of them, and I think this might be one of the best. Let's see what you think though.
Oh no!
And this is the top 10 scary Malaysian urban legends. Starting at number 10 now, we have the taxi passenger. The story goes that one night a taxi driver was working late, and as the clock ticked down...
I know this video is long, but I'm gonna pause a lot. I can't. I know what's gonna happen already. I know what this legend is. That the passenger is not a real human. Oh, freak.
To midnight, he suddenly saw a beautiful young woman standing at the corner of a traffic light junction. She had long black hair and a flowing white dress. He asked her if she needed a ride. She got in without a word. The taxi driver asked where she wanted to go. The girl simply handed him a piece of paper. It had a number and the name of a road on it. The taxi driver wasn't sure
I'm
what
having
it was
goosebumps.
and asked if she could help him. She nodded. She kept nodding every time he went the correct way, but never actually said a word. They finally reached the road. It was very narrow, just enough for
I can't do this, guys.
down, and it was dark. There were no working streetlights. A mist engulfed the car. He tried to peer through the fog and see the numbers on the houses, but to his horror, there were none. Just rows and rows of gravestones. He was gripped with fear and nervously asked if this was the right place. No answer came from the back seat. He continued to drive slowly, but then felt a tap on his shoulder. Too scared to turn around, he stopped the car. He heard the rustle of money and felt her hand giving him some cash. He threw it down without even counting it. He heard the back door open and then close. He then sped home without looking back. The next morning,
I'll do the same.
Got the better of him, and he returned to the same street. It was indeed a large cemetery. He found the lot number that the girl had given him. His eyes widened in horror as he saw the woman's picture staring back at him from a fresh gravestone. He later found out the girl had died the week before in a horrific accident at the very same junction he had picked her up from. It was a hit and run, and the driver was never caught. Moving on to number 9 now, we have Volkswagen.
If you only know the goosebump that I'm having underneath my jacket. Oh, that is only number 1 and we have 9 more to go. I cannot, guys. Oh, let me know if this is like a urban legend that somebody told you before as well, okay? Because it's gonna be interesting to see the comments. Oh, if I don't pass out.
Volkswagen on Carrick Highway. For many Malaysians, the Carrick Highway is the most haunted road in the country. This is in part due to it having the highest accident rate in the whole of Malaysia. Aside from reports of an eerie feeling along the road, there are some more solid stories. Perhaps the most famous is that of the yellow Volkswagen. The story goes that if you see this yellow car on the road, it will block your lane. It will then begin to slow down to a snail's pace, forcing you to overtake it. Once you do that, you'll continue on for a while until it happens again. The same yellow car will be blocking you. It will slow down.
I don't want to see the car.
It happens again and again. After a few times, you'll realize that it's actually just the same car. And what's even more creepy is that there appears to be nobody driving it. The only way to stop the cycle is to actually not overtake it. Some say that when you are overtaking it, the car will speed up and disappear into darkness. Next up at number 8 now, we have the Lang Suya. This is said to be the ghost of a woman who died while giving birth to a stillborn child. The mother's grief turns her into a sort of flying banshee creature. On the surface, she will look like a beautiful woman with long nails, hair down to her ankles, and dressed all in
ankles?
green.
Who has hair down to their ankles?
Beauty. The Lang Suya haunts coastal areas and attacks pregnant women out of jealousy. People believe you can...
I know it's legends, okay, so it's just a myth and all that, but it might be true as well, because that's what legends or myths are. We don't know if it's true or not, but I don't want to go to Malaysia. Well, we have this in the Philippines as well, yeah. Especially my town that I live in, or my city. This is called like the ghost city because, yeah. So what am I talking about? So, but still, it just creeps me out. It's like I want to go to Malaysia so bad, but this video is just creeping me out. But we move.
Haunts coastal areas and attacks pregnant women out of jealousy. People believe you can stop a pregnant woman's corpse from becoming a lang soya, though. You need to place beads in her mouth, an egg in each armpit, and needles on her hands. This should make it
have you seen
possible
somebody
for her
done
to
that
pass
before?
on peacefully to the afterlife. If everything fails, there is said to be one way to fight a lang soya. You cut off her long nails and stuff her hair into the hole in the back of her neck. Moving on to the center now, we have the DJ. This urban legend revolves around a Malaysian radio DJ. He had a late night show in the 90s where listeners could call in to share their ghost stories. One night a man called in to share his story. He said he was driving down a highway late at night with his parents, his wife and their baby. They were all asleep in the back and he felt quite sleepy too. He saw a large truck coming the other way, but on his side of the road. It suddenly sped past him, but before he even had time to collect his thoughts, it happened again, and then again, and then again. It happened a few more times, each one as shocking as the last, and then it seemed to change. The truck started appearing behind him now. He realized it was chasing him. He sped up, trying not to panic. As he came over a hill, he suddenly saw a single headlight heading towards him again. He swerved violently to avoid it, but lost control of the car, crashing through the highway barrier and into a deep gully. Then he told the radio DJ that the crash had killed all of his family. He sounded distraught. Then he said the crash took his own life as well. He then hung up the phone. The DJ thought it was just a prank and laughed it off. However, the next day's newspaper had a story on the front page. It said an accident had occurred along
I'm
the
getting
highway.
goosebumps, like
Described by the caller.
nobody's
A car
business.
had crashed the night before, killing an elderly couple, a husband and wife, and their baby. The DJ was stunned. He felt the hair stand up on the back of his neck.
It's standing on the back of my freaking
from the
neck.
mystery caller the night before, but all he found was minutes of nothing but silence. Next up at number 6 now, we have the Merman. In 2006, shocking pictures began circulating around Malaysian websites that seemed to show what people were describing as a merman. That's a male version of a mermaid. It was supposedly caught by a fisherman in Teluk Buhang Beach in Penang. There were 6 photos of the creature taken from various angles. They were attached to an email that was going around claiming that the newspapers were not being allowed to share these pictures. The merman appears vaguely
I'm
humanoid
looking at you
in
guys
shape,
because I
seems to
can't
be
look
about
on the
size of an
screen.
adult male. There were 2 long fins that resembled large ears on its head. It had 2 arms and was covered in fins from head to toe. A while after this, internet investigators claimed
people
that the
like
pictures had
mermaids
come
and
from an
mermaids.
eBay sale in Florida. But die-hard conspiracy theorists believe this is all just part of a cover-up and that there are more mermen out there in the Malaysian seas. At number 5 now, guys, we have the oily man. In Malaysian folklore,
oily
the
man?
oily man is a sort of supernatural
Like that is the worst name you can give a superhero or a legend. It's just funny.
Now guys, we have the oily man. In Malaysian folklore, the oily man is a sort of supernatural being called into life and controlled by an evil witch doctor. It can cover its whole body in a black, oily substance that makes him practically
It looks like a
invisible at night,
superhero
difficult
or
to
a
catch,
villain.
and makes breaking and entering extremely easy for him. It crawls up the walls and the sides of tall buildings. Once on top of them, it leaps from rooftop to rooftop. Some say it's like the Malaysian version of Venom. Although
Yeah, it's like
oily
Venom.
man definitely came before that. Before you say this is just an ancient creature passed down through stories, think again. As recently as 2012, there were reports of a knife-wielding oily man leaping from building to building in Malaysia. The residents of Kampung claim to have seen...
Malaysia, I'm sorry, I'm not going there. It's done. It's a done deal.
heard him for 10 days. Moving on to the 4 now,
10?
we have the hotel bed. The story goes like this. A group of college friends planned a weekend trip to a Malaysian resort during their break. They
I'm
booked
scared.
one room with 2 beds, figuring they could save money by fitting 4 people in them. When they reached the resort, they wasted no time in seeing the local attractions for the day. They decided to freshen up back at the hotel before heading out to dinner. While one of them was lying on the bed, they complained that it felt quite lumpy, but they decided to not complain to hotel management because they already had too many people in the room and they didn't want to get caught. After dinner, they headed out to some bars before returning around midnight. When they got back, they got ready for bed. However, when they began to rearrange the mattresses to fit all of them in, they saw something truly horrific. There, sandwiched between the mattress and the bed springs, was the corpse of a woman. They ran out of the room and told hotel management.
Is that even a
The hotel
legend
were
or is
keen to
reality?
avoid any negative publicity and decided to pay the students a lot of money to keep quiet. Still, this rumor began to spread, and now many young Malaysian people will make sure to check if their hotel mattress ever feels too lumpy. Coming at number 3 now, we have
Is that real? Like, did you guys see it on news about that, or was it just a myth going around? Or was it like in the news, like hotel da 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 da? Okay, let me know. That's creepy. I'm definitely gonna check, but I'll be scared. Oh no, now I'm gonna be scared of hotels.
Janet's ghost. The story goes that Janet was a young Chinese nurse in Kuching's public hospital. Legend says she disappeared around the late 1960s. This was at a time when there was an epidemic of
Why do they
kidnappings
put
in the
crazy
city. All the police
pictures?
have
I
figured out so
cannot,
far
guys.
that the kidnappings may be linked to the construction of Satok Bridge. If construction of the bridge was held up, it meant that the territorial spirits were displeased. Human sacrifices had to be made to appease them. Apparently,
I
they
don't wanna
preferred to
watch this
sacrifice
video
virgin
anymore.
girls, but only use their heads. This meant they would be decapitated and their heads would be embedded in the concrete pillars to strengthen the bridge. Eventually, they found Janet's headless body, confirming the police's theory. Her grieving parents buried her in a red dress and red shoes. According to some Chinese belief systems, if a woman dies wearing red, she will return as a vengeful spirit. They say her parents did this so she could return from the dead and take revenge on her killers. Then the sightings began. Villagers on the outskirts
I'm
of the
just
city
gonna block
reported seeing a
this whole
mysterious
video.
woman dressed all in red. She would catch rides on motorbikes or cross ferries by herself, would always leave behind Chinese hell notes. Her quest to find her killers continues, and she doesn't care who stands in her way. Moving on to number 2 now, we have the Toil. The name for this
I just don't like the imagery he's showing. It's so scary. Every time I'm gonna close my eyes or like look, I'm gonna be scared. I think I'm not gonna sleep with the lights off tonight, and I don't think I'm gonna blink today because I can't afford to blink because something might happen.
creature is sometimes translated in English to goblin, but it's not the kind of goblin you're probably thinking. This thing is much more creepy, in my opinion. It's said to be the spirit of a small
Can we not put
child
this on the
invoked from a
screen?
dead human fetus. It's traditionally described as looking like
Oh.
a near-naked baby with
Oh.
brownish skin, large fangs, and sharp ears.
Oh.
The Toils always have a master, and the master may use it to capture other humans. It's said that the owner of the Toil may become rich beyond their wildest dreams, but there is always a price to pay when it comes to the spirit world. Becoming the master of a Toil can bring fortune, but the health of every one of the master's family will steadily decline. They will eventually lose everything and then slowly die. The Toil are evil in their behavior, but childlike in their thinking. People use this to try and distract a Toil from entering their homes. They scatter buttons on the floor, leave sweets or toys next to them in the hopes that a Toil will pass on and spare them another day. And finally, number one now, we have the horror. Remember, we were talking earlier about Carrick Highway, the really haunted road? Well, we're returning for another scary story there. One
So
day,
that
a couple were
highway,
traveling
don't
down
just
the
go
road
there.
to return to their hometown after a relative's wedding. They decided to travel late at night, and the journey was going well for a while, but then signs of trouble started. Their trusty Proton Wheeler began to zigzag wildly on the road. As they struggled to control it, the engine gave a last splutter and then died. The husband was shocked. He had just had the car serviced the day before. Now they were stranded by the road in the middle of the night and only about halfway to their destination. All around them was desolate hills and jungle. They kept trying to start the car over and over again, but nothing seemed to work. They gave up and decided to flag someone down for help. When that didn't work, the husband decided to try and find an emergency phone somewhere.
Yeah,
The wife
don't they have
disagreed
phones?
because she was afraid that he might get knocked down walking in the dark. He went anyway and told his wife to wait in the car.
Oh,
She waited
no.
for what felt like
Never split in this type of situation. Never split. You're stronger together. In the jungle, in the dark, in crazy situations. Never go separate ways. Never. And it's a highway. Don't they have like tolls? Or don't they have like emergency phone booth? Because maybe that was like back in the day, so probably they didn't. Oh, that's so scary. Oh my
like
god.
forever. The jungle trees seemed to shift in the dark around her. Then there was a loud thump on the roof of the car, followed by a rustling sound. She thought it was animals and decided to not get out of her car to check. Then another car's headlights began to approach from behind. The car slowed down as it passed, but then quickly sped off. She waited for hours. Other cars did the same. She began to worry more about the rustling sound from the roof and where exactly her husband was. Finally, a police car approached. It stopped a few meters away. The policeman got out and called to her using a megaphone, telling her to back away from the car slowly. When she got to the police car, she looked back out of curiosity. To her horror, she saw her husband's body on the roof of the car. There was a demonic creature feasting on his blood. This had been happening for all those hours that she was sitting in the car. The police quickly took her away, and the legend began. And on that gruesome and grisly note, we will leave it there. I enjoyed making this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. This came from your suggestions, so I want to hear what
my
country
gosh.
we should do.
Which one was the
next down
scariest
below.
for you
Thanks
guys?
for watching, as always, guys. My name is Danny Burke, and I will see you all in the next video.
I think the scariest for me was the headless girl, because I couldn't even watch the screen when that was being said. There's a lot. Maybe some of them I forgot already. Thank God I forgot it, because I can't. Oh, this is... I don't want to watch this anymore, but I will do it if you guys want more. But I'm weak. I'm so freaking weak. It's good it's not a scare like on the screen, because I'm just gonna like disappear from the camera if ever. But let me know what you guys think, and if this legend some of you have like witnessed or heard about it. Let me know. If you like this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, leave in the comment section down below what other videos like to react to. The original link of this video will be in the description box down below, so it's my social media link. So guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.